Yeah, you. Are you tired of getting friend-zoned this Valentine's Day? Are you wanting to show her that you are more than just a friend? Well, show her your love by killing lots of people, stealing their money, lie that you are rich in hopes of getting her to like you, and if all else fails, tie her up and keep her hostage. Oh my goodness! That's horrible! And that's why you shouldn't take dating advice from Scream Bloody Murder. Scream Bloody Murder. How can you go wrong with a movie like this? It's got an awesome title and a cool cover to go along with it. My only complaint about the box is the back description. In the first paragraph they called him Matthew, but in the third paragraph they start calling him Michael. Seriously, did the writers have short-term memory loss? How hard is it to remember the dude's name? And before anyone gets their panties up in a bunch, yes, I do understand that this is a nitpick, but here's the thing. If you're going to name your characters, at least be consistent with it. Man, they're really hyping up the gore factor in this movie, are they? A bloodbath of horror? The first motion picture to be called pornography? It makes you wonder if the movie is as gory as it says it is. Well, there's only one way to find out. It begins with a young Matthew playing around with his dad's farming equipment, which results into him crushing his hand and getting his dad runned over. Due to all the damages he has done, he is then sent away to an asylum. We cut to a few years later where we see Matthew grew up to be Mark Hamill. Actually, he is played by Fred Halbert, which I am really shocked that this is his first and last role. He's actually the best actor in this movie. In fact, a lot of the main cast is really good, but unfortunately they never made it big. The only person who turned out to be famous was Angus Scrimm, and even then he had a small part in this. Which only goes to show that there's no such thing as a small role. Isn't that right, Jack Nicholson? But I will give him credit for at least trying to put his all into it, unlike some certain other people.
Are you Vera?
In person.
Hey, that's not bad. Hey man, that's not bad at all, you know what I mean?
Anyway, it's also here where we see that Matthew's mom has married another man. He doesn't like this, and he sets out to murder her new fiancé, all the while killing her by accident. Haunted by what happened last night, Matthew sees visions of his dead mother and stepfather. This only occurs when he sees a couple kissing, which also causes him to go on a rampage. He then comes across a girl named Vera, and take a wild guess at what she does for a living just by listening to this little bit of dialogue.
Hi.
You a friend or a customer?
Yeah, I'm gonna safely bet that she's a prostitute, is she?
A friend wants me to stay here and paint. Customer wants me to go inside with him.
Yep,
Which one are you?
I called it. While Matthew is peeping in Vera's room, Matthew starts envisioning her as his mother. So to keep her away from seeing those men, he lies about him being rich and that he can supply for her. Not believing him, Matthew invades someone else's house and murders everything in sight. And I do mean everything. Even the dog gets the axe in this movie. I can understand killing the old lady to get her house and also killing the maid to have no witnesses behind. But what was the reason for killing the dog? It's not like it's gonna rat you out to the police. Who knows? Maybe he's in the mood for some authentic Chinese food. The next day, he takes Vera to show him his new mansion. You know, for someone who lived in the asylum his whole life and never had any experience behind the wheel, he's driving pretty well. But despite all the effort he has done, Vera refuses to stay at Matthew's place. So Matthew's only option to keep her away from those men is to tie her up and keep her hostage. You can tell where this is headed. Now you might think that this is reminiscent of Stephen King's Misery. Well, that's because it is. But the movie was the first one to do it since it came out in 1973, or 1978 as this VHS wrongfully suggests. And the novel came out in 1987. But you don't want to hear all about that crap, no. You just want to get straight to the kills. After all, the box art did advertise it to be a really gory movie. I can say right now that the kills in this movie are hit and miss. Most of the time we get some really cool kills, and other times we get some really lackluster kills. time for Osama bin Laden for me. My personal favorite scene is where the old lady fights back. Now that's what I love to see. Now before we go into this video, we are going to go into spoiler territory. So for those who really want to see this movie and not want to be spoiled, then skip to this time code right here. For those who really don't care, enjoy. But you have been warned. Near the very end of the movie, you quickly notice that Matthew rarely kills anybody with his hooked hand. The only time we see this in action is twice in the entire movie, and it only occurs near the end of the climax. On the cover, we see Matthew's claw fixing to slit the girl's throat, so your only assumption is to think that this claw is Matthew's trademark weapon. But no, the cover teases us with this false image. But as the old saying goes, we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. So what are my final thoughts on the movie? I actually kind of enjoyed it, though it's not without its hokey moments. The acting was pretty good for the most part, even though there were some bad performances here and there. The main selling point, which is the bloodshed and violence, is completely toned down for what they were marketing for. Not to say that this is a bad thing, but it's kind of a letdown due to the false advertisement. But overall, I kinda enjoy the movie. Am I saying that it's perfect? By all means, no. But at least we can all agree that it's a better bondage movie than 50 Shades of Grey. And that's pretty much all I have to say. So until next time, guys, I'll see you in March.